Good evening. Welcome to this, I think, plenary session number 6 on energy transition and green mobility towards net zero. I think the last session, very interactive, and I think we should not be hurry to leave the session because there will be a lot of good deliberation, because this is, in fact, encompassing the entire theme of the session or the conference, energy transition. How and where it has happened and why it should be required, and green mobility. Two things. Now, before I hand over to my honorable speakers, I welcome you all, including my speakers on the dais. Let me put something to have a brainstorming or to put the system or the theme of the session. First of all, let me say why as to we need energy transition. Because we have been doing very well actually. Energy, every time we are increasing energy, and by changing that, how much the country is developing from this year to that year, how much net energy we consume. This is basically the atmospheric pollution which is created by so many constituents and so many entities. If I go by entity wise, the electrical and heat resource almost contribute about 23% to the global gas emissions. And industry 24%, agriculture 22%, transport 15%, building 6%, other like E&P, exploration production of the natural gas, coal or any other things, that creates about 10%. So the mobility green which you call here is basically the transportation sector which will be addressing. And what will be the slate actually? The slate of production, if you see the consumption, there are 6 constituents. We go for coal, oil, gas, nuclear, then hydro, as well as that finally renewables. So first 3 constituents, coal as well as your oil, are the major problematic using carbon footprints on the atmosphere. Gas is best, fossil fuel had least carbon footprint, and your nuclear, hydro as well as renewables, they are the best. So now intention is to really go for renewables. How much you can go, but the question is, can you really cope up with this kind of requirement of the renewable which the country will need or the whole globe will need it? So if you see the total possibility of the people going for the green technologies or green fuels, there are a lot of countries still emitting those who are more carbon footprint products like your oil and coal. We have made a study, if you find, let me give you a small synopsis. Like in coal, I find that US has slightly brought down the footprints of consumption of coal, followed by Europe, followed by CS countries. But the Middle East, India and China still continue to have rising footprint of coal. This is one of the threatening situation where we have to really think of. Similarly for oil, if I see everybody, including excepting China, has increased the oil consumption in 2022 as compared to 21, just idea. Gas, unfortunately because of certain reasons, the consumption has come down where it should go up. Nuclear, excepting for let's say US and Europe, where it has been brought down, rest all are going high. But renewable, every country has increased its consumption. So if you have to really go for a green technology or green environment where we can control the global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius, we need to do something great actually. Now it is, I'm just putting short because we'll deliberate in length. The immediate action, if you want to bring down the carbon footprint, is required that no need for new unabatable coal and power. This is required. It's a wish list for the globe. Second, no need for new oil and gas field. But the question comes to deliberate here, will it be possible? This is a timeline people feel now today it should be done. But we have to think, can you meet the growing requirement? And if not, then what should be the reason actually? So the question of net zero is have different meaning from the different economies. The economies which are now basing their total economy on coal, the net zero for them may be reduced by 50%. Those who are using gas, the net zero may be going for better benign fuel like hydrogen. So the meaning interpretation is different, but the question is these two are the necessity should be dealt with at this time of moment now. By 2030, if you have to go over net zero 2050, the roadmap says the triple renewable capacity by 2030. In India, we are planning also to go by 2040, 50% contribution by renewables in the whole energy basket. Let us see how far we can really meet the requirement. Double the energy intensity. Now, there was a presentation below, energy efficiency. They say that the energy intensity has been growing down. That means you are having better efficiency of the equipment, better efficiency of the processes. How far we can still go up? That means you need more research and development work in that direction. Then cut methane emissions in the atmosphere. So again they say methane either it will go by process or by E&P activities. So how can you really hold them? This is a question which can be deliberated here. All new heavy industries should have zero emission certification. You allow only when there is a zero certification. Similarly, there are other workable points to be done in 2035 and also to be 2050. So with this, I think I will open this session to my esteemed speakers on dais and request Mr. Mukesh Sachdeva to have his presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead.